What a wild and crazy Big 12 power rankings I just saw, and man, oh man, were the West Virginia Mountaineers disrespected. More fuel to the fire for this program. And I'm going to explain it all right after this word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up? Welcome in. Come on in, make yourself comfortable, and welcome to another edition of Couz's Corner. Belly yourself up to the bar and let me pour you out another shot of top shelf college football content. On tap at Couz's Corner today, we're talking about the West Virginia Mountaineers being disrespected in yet another Big 12 ranking. This one, I'm going to give a shout out to my friend Joey Foster, who works over at the Voice of College Football, is a host over on the West Virginia channel there. Many of you may know him from his work at Golden Blue Dude. But Joey Foster sent me a link to this video that I had not seen. It's a new YouTube. He's not new, but he's new to me. But YouTube creator George Wrightster, who has a channel called The Unafraid Show. And he's very good at what he does, very talented. And he's a good host. And I'm probably going to watch more of his content going forward. I'm glad I found him. But he did a power ranking of Big 12 teams where he ranked, he projected the teams from 2024 through 2029 for the next 5 years where he felt these programs land. And man, in my opinion, did he get it wrong on a lot of teams, or several teams anyway. But the one I want to focus on here is my team, the team I root for and the team I cover, the West Virginia Mountaineers. He had West Virginia Mountaineers at number 9 in the Big 12 power rankings through 2029. And I just have an issue with it. Now, what I'm going to do is bring up his overall rankings. I'm going to share those with you, show you where he had West Virginia compared to some other teams. Then I'm going to play the clip of what he said about West Virginia. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a spreadsheet I put together comparing West Virginia historically as a program to all the teams he has ranked ahead of the Mountaineers. So let's go ahead and start off by showing you this spreadsheet, this ranking that he put out. As you see, he ranked them 16 through 1 in descending order. He has Cincinnati, Baylor, Texas Tech, UCF, BYU, TCU, Houston, West Virginia at 9, Iowa State 8, Colorado 7, Arizona State 6, Kansas 5, Kansas State 4, Oklahoma State 3, Arizona 2. That one was a shocker to me. And Utah at number 1. Now I'm going to play you what he had to say about the West Virginia Mountaineers on the show and why he had them ranked where he had them ranked.
West Virginia. Who would have thought that Neil Brown and his defensive coordinator, Jordan Leslie, would be riding a wave of optimism heading into 2024 after heading into 2023 under the guillotine? They had a top 50 recruiting class and transfer class, which doesn't usually happen for a coach that's on the hot seat. And with the short king Garrett Green returning at quarterback, you might actually be able to see back-to-back 9-win seasons for the Mountaineers. And if that happens, you might start to see the program recapture some of the consistency of its days in the Big East. Number 8, Iowa.
Now, he didn't say a lot of negative things there about West Virginia, did he? He talked about a 9-win season, how Garrett Green could project them to another 9-win season, and that could, snowball into more success. So if he thinks that, why in the world are they at number 9? And when you look at West Virginia historically as a program, they've been in several conferences. They spent many years, some of their most successful years, actually not even in a conference, part of what they called the Eastern Independence back during the Major Harris days and several other seasons as well. But West Virginia has found success throughout its history. Now, they have not found as much success in the Big 12, but they've only been in the conference for about a little over a decade. And I do think better days are ahead. They have went through a coaching change since joining the Big 12. There's been the implementation of NIL and the portal and all that. West Virginia's been at a travel disadvantage since they've been in the league. But now Oklahoma and Texas leaving the league, It opens the door for a program like a West Virginia to be successful. Now, there are a lot of other programs that can be successful as well, including some of the programs he has ranked ahead of West Virginia. But, man, some of these are just crazy to me. Why he would have some of these teams ranked ahead of West Virginia. Now, I'm going to show you the spreadsheet I put together that compares West Virginia historically to these other programs. And it's the programs he had ranked ahead of West Virginia. So as you look here at this spreadsheet, you'll see I have Blue Blood ranking, which I got from the Winsipedia website. I have all-time win percentage, all-time wins, and then weeks in the AP Top 25. And what you'll see in parentheses at the top of each column, between West Virginia and the 8 schools that were ranked ahead of them on this ranking, this is where West Virginia lies in each category. So they're 4th in Blue Blood ranking, they're 3rd in all-time win percentage, 1st in all-time wins, and 2nd in week spin of the AP Top 25. Now, when you look at Arizona, obviously the blue is the one thing they're number 1 in. But he had Arizona at number 2. Now, when you look at Arizona at number 2, they're in the 50s in all these categories. Arizona is not known as a great historical program. And I know this is not about the past. I know he's projecting forward. I get all that. But typically, when you look at athletic programs, their history will dictate a lot of what happens in their future because it shows, A, how passionate their fans are about their team and how much they support their team, how much support they get from alumni, how the program or the school's able to develop talent over the years, hire coaches, all of that stuff. Now, I know we're in a different landscape today. I understand all that. But West Virginia has had success all throughout its history, and I don't see why they can't continue that in the future, especially considering what we saw last year and the way Neil Brown's been recruiting and some of the progress he's made in NIL or the West Virginia's made in NIL and other categories. But to say Arizona is the number 2 team in this conference, especially when they're just bringing in a brand new coach, I mean, Arizona, up until 2 years ago, were basically a dumpster fire in college football. They have one 10-win season, and now all of a sudden everybody thinks they're going to be a top premier program. I just don't understand it. No disrespect to Arizona. They have a lot of talent. They could very well compete for a Big 12 championship, man, but there are a lot of question marks. And to me, there's a lot of recency bias built in to this ranking here with Arizona. Iowa State, one of the worst programs ever historically. They have never had a 10-win season in their history, ever. Now, they're doing well under Matt Campbell. They're winning 8-9 games most years. But there's no reason West Virginia can't do that as well. So how in the world do you have a team who's 108th all-time in win percentage, has never had a 10-win season? What makes you think they're all of a sudden going to be this great program? Now, and I understand they're only ranked 1 spot ahead of West Virginia's list, so maybe I'm grasping at straws here or being too nitpicky. But that's just one example. He had Kansas at number 5. A team who's 111th all-time in win percentage at number 5. Yes, I know Lance Leipold's a great coach. I know he's doing a great job. But Kansas has been so dependent on having a good coach over the years that if he ever decides to leave or even retire, they could go back to being terrible again. West Virginia has had success under just about every head coach they've ever had. Some level of success anyway. Kansas, that's not the case. They've always been known as a basketball school, and I'm not sure that's ever going to change. Kansas State, outside of Bill Snyder and Chris Kleiman, have been a laughingstock. Now, Chris Kleiman's done great with them. And this is one school I have no issue being ranked ahead of West Virginia on this list, actually, because when you project ahead, Bill Snyder had this program going in the right direction. Chris Kleiman has continued it and maybe even taken them up a notch. I don't see no reason that's going to change. Kansas State are masters at doing more with less as far as talent goes. So Kansas State, I actually have no issue with them being ranked ahead of West Virginia on this list, despite their 111th all-time in win percentage. So Arizona State being ranked ahead of West Virginia, when you look at the numbers, not that big a deal. I can actually live with that one. Colorado's another one. Yes, you could say maybe they should be ahead of West Virginia. Oklahoma State, maybe. And then Utah, maybe. But at the very least, West Virginia should be in the top 5 on this list, in my opinion. How can they not be? They should be ahead of Arizona. That puts them at 8. They should be ahead of Iowa State. That's 7. They should be ahead of Kansas. That's 6. And in my opinion, they should probably be ahead of Arizona State, who in recent memory has not done well. I mean, their program has been under investigation. They're having financial issues, reportedly. They've not been known as a great football program in the last couple decades. They're changing conferences. So I would probably have West Virginia at worst 5th on this list. You can split hairs over where Colorado should be, whatever. Again, until Deion Sanders got there, they were a laughing stock, and so far they still are. He hasn't done much. He won 4 games last year. So until he can prove that he's going to be able to win, I don't know that I'd put them ahead of West Virginia. So I would have West Virginia at number 4, maybe number 5 on this list. But you let me know in the comments, where do you think West Virginia should be on this list? Do you think George Wrightster got it wrong and that West Virginia should be ranked much higher? Or do you think he got it just about right and they are about the number 9 team? Or heck, do you think they're worse than 9th going forward over the next 5 years? I want to know what you think. Also, I want to give a shout out to my VIP members of the day, Bill G, Philip Masters, Hellbilly, and Tax Sprint. If you want to join this club, hit the join button below or go to my channel page and hit join there right beside my profile photo. You can join the pub level or the club level. There are perks that go with each one, including the special VIP shout outs. There are early access to some videos. There's limited videos with limited ads that you can get access to. There's members only content, all kinds of different things to choose from or that you have access to through joining the VIP club. I also want to give a shout out to my partners over at WV Sports Now. Get a 40% discount on a 1-year subscription to their Holler behind the scenes plan by using promo code Couz at checkout. It's promo code Couz, C-O-U-Z at checkout at the Holler at WVSportsNow.com to get 40% off a 1-year subscription to the Holler. I appreciate you tuning into this episode. You can check out another episode related to West Virginia football right here. Have a top shelf day and cue Country Roads.